Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for getting together with us today. You are here again with Jeremy Brinkerhoff. Jeremy, say hi.
Hi.
And Raylene Challinor, we're so happy to have you back with us.
Yes.
We have a very special guest today, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that later.
Excellent.
But for now, I thought, New Year, what do you normally talk about? You got to talk about resolutions.
Oh, yes. Okay, New Year's resolutions.
Is it a thing? Is it not? How do you feel about it?
So I'm going to say I don't typically do a New Year's resolution or a list of resolutions because it is one of those deals that goes right out the window. Like, it sounds really good. I enter into the new year like, man, it's going to be different. And then get to the next year, I'm like, oh, nothing was different. And so after many disappointments and disappointing others, I've just said, you know what? I'm just going to say I'm disappointing.
Okay.
So maybe that's my word for 22.
Have you ever, though? Were you ever a resolution person? Did you have a little journal when you were in junior high or high school?
No, I think...
when you were in band?
Well, exactly. I think my resolution back then was just like, kiss a girl. I think that was like the only resolution. And year after year, that's why you don't make resolutions anymore. Like, because like it just didn't happen.
Failure. Epic fail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But maybe for this year...
Yeah.
I am resolving to pronounce people's last names properly.
Okay.
That's going to be my resolution.
Do you need to do a little correction?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So last week...
had a fabulous interview.
An awesome guy, Jesse Villegas.
Yes.
There's a G.
There's a G. It's like Vegas.
But
it's like if you're driving.
Villegas.
Right. And you're like, where do you want to go? I want to go to Las Vegas.
Vegas?
You know?
Yes.
It's kind of like that. Las Vegas.
And with who I can be sometimes, I'm like, oh, I got this. It's Viejas. I know better than him. I'll pronounce his name right, even though he can't. So I was quite emphatic about the pronunciation. So,
so apologies.
to Jesse. Right. And honestly, I mean, how many millions of times have I gotten your name wrong?
Well, a lot.
I continue,
but my own mother
I continue to do that incorrectly. So
okay.
This year, resolution 2022. Last names correctly.
Okay, right.
There we go. And how about you, Challinor?
Thank you. I used to do resolutions like young, high school. Ooh, for this year, this is my goals and whatever.
These kind of goals.
Little goals.
little pom-poms.
This is goals.
Little
if
pom-poms.
we ever play gestures, this is goals, okay?
Okay, got it.
It's going to be goals. And then, you realize, out the window. Okay. So stop doing that, and then life. And now with children, I became very intentional about how I live and what the words I want to speak and all of those things in our household. And so I started a couple years ago as a family. Let's have a theme for this year. Like, what do we want to focus on?
Yeah.
And there's been all kinds of things, kindness and, things. Last year was live generously. Okay. And so whenever we'd come to a point where we're like, do we give? Do we not? Live generously.
Let's live generously.
Let's just give. Give generously.
Yep.
Give our time, our talents, all those things. Give it generously.
Yeah.
Right?
I like it.
So this year, and I felt like we did okay. We did well.
And is that something that you sit down as a family and discuss?
Yeah.
Or this is something that you just kind of like, hey, kids, we're living generously this year?
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of both. We're like, okay, our theme for this year is going to be live generously. What does that mean? But it's not like a sit down at the dinner table, let's have a discussion.
Okay.
It's just like in our conversation in the car.
It's organic.
It is. It's really organic.
It's good.
And
grassroots.
Right, to the bottom. And so this year is others.
Others. Okay.
It's just others. What does that mean? It can be lots of different things.
Yeah.
But if somebody's talking to you and you have other things to do, just that word pops into your others. Like, just be here for whoever's in front of you.
And was there a particular event that kind of set that in motion?
I can't even believe you asked that. Yes.
Well, because it's me.
It's you. You're so good. Yes, there was.
Okay.
This last Christmas break, for me, I have this ideal, Jeremy, of big family. I think in my family growing up in high school, I always had buddies dropping by, and especially at Christmas time, we had, a large family where we were in kind of outside of Seattle. Always pop-ins, the pop-ins. I love the pop-in.
Yeah.
Nobody does the pop-in anymore.
No.
Are you? I mean, I don't even know if you're allowed to do the pop-in anymore. Right?
Not without a gun in your face.
I'm a big popper
It's
inner.
Arizona.
Right. So I just was really missing that this year.
Okay.
Like just the people, and my mom wasn't home for Christmas, and so it felt different. And of course we were coming out of being sick, and I didn't have the energy that I normally have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was really kind of feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
There was life going on and I wasn't being invited.
Okay.
I want to be invited, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you invite me? That's the question.
You can put that in the comments.
Right?
Feel
Why
free
wouldn't
to
you invite
just go
this?
anywhere with that.
All this. Why wouldn't you? And so, funnily enough, as the Lord works, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes, he does.
He was like, you know what? I'm going to help you to stop being so self-focused.
Okay.
And I'm going to have a foster mama call you up
Ooh.
and say, you know what? I really could use some respite. And I said, sure, when? She's like, today? Like, could you just give me one day? Anyway.
And this is after Christmas? Or
yes.
Okay.
And so we got a little 1-year-old and for like 4 days. And it was the best ever. And that whole time I was like, this is life.
Okay.
Just breathing into someone else, investing into someone else, being others focused instead of me. Why am I not being invited to this? Or why?
Yeah.
And giving that mom some time to breathe. It felt so good.
It's really good.
So that's why.
Really good. Others. Okay.
Others.
Yeah, I think honestly, with where some of the things in our last year and just kind of where we're at as a family.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of the things that we've been talking about quite a bit is this idea of really investing in where we're at and not just living life. It is so easy to get into the day to day. All of a sudden the year's gone. And I think that's, the whole idea behind resolutions is like, this is how I'm going to be different this year.
Yes.
That whole like 1% better every day, whatever. But like that idea that we really want to, visit people in the old folks' homes. And just as things begin to open up again, I hope just to really be intentional with our time and seeing, our kids are even at that point where our youngest Daniel is 10 and he was talking to Marissa last night just about like, man, I have so much stuff. Like why?
That's good.
And he said, like, I love this is why like kids' church is really cool sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes even more discipleship oriented than like adult church.
Yeah.
But he's like, I feel like the rich young ruler. And I'm like, whoa, man, for a 10-year-old to be like, something's off,
That's
like,
deep.
so we really want to begin to foster that thing of relationship with others and where we don't have an expectation of getting anything in return.
Yeah.
Just that we do
Right.
it. So,
Right. Oh, that's
anyway,
so good.
So I agree. I
yeah.
think 2022 others, that's a great thing.
You can have it. You can share it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Piggyback on that.
Look, you're already thinking of others.
Sharing. You
sharing
guys,
is
the
caring.
Brinkerhoffs
Ray,
can
Challinor.
have that.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a giver.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So with that being said, one
Yes.
way that we can bless others is by having people on our show.
Yes.
And just giving them some exposure. Do you see how I did that?
Yes,
Did you
bring
like
it
that segue?
You will be blessed by being on our podcast.
Why wouldn't they, Jeremy?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't they
absolutely.
be blessed with being with this?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
This is good.
So today, our guest is Bree Sipla.
Silpa?
Yeah, see, you didn't get that one wrong.
Silpa.
Yeah.
I need to see it written out.
Except I've said it wrong. It's Sipla.
Sipla.
It's Sipla.
Sipla.
Bree Sipla, Apricot
Bree
Lane
Sipla.
Boutique. Apricot?
Oh.
Apricot.
We're going to have to ask her. 'Cause
She's
it's her
a professional.
Boutique.
It's hers.
I'm
She
going to
owns
say
it.
apricot.
Okay.
I grew up apricot.
Yeah, apricot.
And pecan.
Oh,
Not
okay.
pecan.
Pecan. Yeah, I say pecan.
Apricot.
I say apricot. I think it sounds better with the Apricot Lane.
Apricot
Apricot Lane
It does
Boutique.
Seem, Apricot Lane.
She's here in Prescott, right over here around the corner from the porch.
Okay.
Montezuma.
Super.
Right behind Cinnabon.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Well,
and
that's
Jamba
kinda
Juice.
Delicious.
So I'm saying little Cinnabon.
Yep.
Little shopping.
Yep.
Add at the afterwards, Jamba Juice. Talk about what you bought. Boom. Day.
All right. There it is.
Girls' day out. So you're going to enjoy our interview with Bree. All right, so we are welcoming my friend Bree Sipla. Sipla, like taking a sip, la la la. That's
Got
how
it.
she described it to me.
Sipla.
Yes. And we would like to know how you pronounce your business. Is it A or A? Apricot Lane
All right.
Boutique.
You win.
Yes.
You win.
Yes, I think it flows better.
It
Apricot
does.
Lane.
But depending on where you are in the country,
Yes.
sometimes we're apricot.
That's right.
It
Pecan.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
We are so excited to have you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. Thank you for taking your time because you're a busy
Absolutely.
woman. Mama,
Yes.
entrepreneur. You got all kinds of irons in the
Fire. Yep.
Like in the frying
Yep.
pan.
Yes.
At the
yes.
golf
In the
course.
fire.
No, it doesn't work.
Right?
Yes.
No, that's not quite
Irons
the same.
in the fire.
In the fire.
Fire. I
Yes.
do golf. I do golf.
There you go.
Yes,
Okay.
you do. I
Yeah.
remember
In
you
spare
said
time.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not, in months.
No. Busy kind of.
I always say I
don't know.
pretend to golf.
Running the
Okay.
show,
I don't really golf.
running a
I
show,
just
running the show.
Yes.
She's the boss lady. Okay, so Bree, just give us a little intro into who you are, born and raised, and then how you ended up in Prescott.
All right. Well, I am native Arizonian.
Excellent.
I did most of my young childhood growing up in Payson.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
did my teenage years here in Chino Valley.
All
Okay.
right.
Graduated from Chino Valley High.
Little shout out to them if you'd like.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I had my oldest son right here at YRMC.
Aww.
But I raised my kids in Flagstaff.
Okay.
We were there for 10 years.
Wow.
And,
And what'd you guys do there? Is that where you flipped houses?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was my first house. This Little Drive. It's Little Drive is actually where I lived. But it was this little house in University Highlands, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I had all these folders, and they were all organized because we didn't have the internet or Pinterest back
Right.
then, and so it was just like,
What'd you
oh,
do?
my paint colors, my cabinets,
Yes,
and,
you cut things out of magazines.
Yes.
Yeah, I did that too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
Yeah.
so that really just sparked my mother was a decorator. My
Was
mother was
she?
very handy. And so, it was really easy for me. And then I actually got into design, and I say unofficially because I had design software. I've never been formally trained. But when I designed my kitchens, I even designed like the little spacers in between the cabinets. And I thought
my
about
word.
if the drawer opens, is it going to hit the knobs on the stove? You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it was just like easy
Nice.
peasy for me.
that's good.
And so it just started, and we did house after house. And then you just got a wild hair and decided I was going to move to
Yeah.
Washington State.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
Yep. Might as well.
I needed
new.
a change.
Rain.
Something
You wanted
new.
rain in your life.
You know what? Yes.
Are you serious?
And then I had that much rain, and
Yeah.
I was like, get me back to Arizona.
yes.
Oh my gosh. So I was there 8 years.
Wow.
I lived in this charming little fishing village. I say it's a village,
So
but
really
it's a town.
coastal. So even like a really big change from.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, we're on the Sound, and the Sound is, it's a mixture of freshwater and saltwater, but you
Right.
do have saltwater marine life in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's 100 miles long, and it can be as like 5
so
miles
gorgeous.
wide in some areas. And then where I lived is on the other side of the Tacoma Narrows, and the Tacoma Narrows is where it all like comes in, and it's only a mile wide,
Yeah.
and there's this big beautiful bridge, and then it spreads back out again. And that's how I met my husband, who was a commercial fisherman, and he was in Gig Harbor, commissioned on a boat, and lots of changes for me at that point in my life.
Yes.
And but it was, it was just one of those when you know, and God gave
Yep.
you a gift, and you're gonna, as much as you're fighting it,
Just give
it
in,
was
sister.
time. Yeah, it was time to have that kind of love in my life. And
Yes.
so we have been together 7 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And a couple years ago, I was like, you know what? I had recently lost my father before then, and it was really hard to handle his estate from several states away. And
Yeah.
so, with my mom's health was failing, and I was like, let's get back to Arizona. I've always wanted to be in Prescott. I've
Okay.
always wanted to be back to Prescott. Out of the places that I've lived, this has just been my favorite. Some of my best friends are here. The community, the beauty. I mean, there's just everything that I was looking for was right here. And it just so happened that some of my husband's best friends from high school were also living here.
No way.
And so we came here. It was like coming home.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
He had just his friends all over the place, and they're actually more and more moving here. So he's just super
Where
happy.
had he
That's
grown up?
fun.
Your husband had grown up in Washington? Or?
The C word. California.
Oh, that's C. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
He was born and raised in Calabasas. He's actually a very interesting person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
he would be a really good person to interview.
We
Okay.
like those
We
recommendations.
like those.
Yep.
I don't know that he would, I don't know. He's pretty humble. I don't know if he would do it, but he just had just an amazing life. He was
Yeah.
never married before me.
Wow.
But he lived this very full life.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
I could go on and on
That's
about
so
him. Anyway, so we decided we're going to come here, we're going to rent a house, we're going to take our investment money, we're going to build businesses, and that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because commercial fisherman moves to Arizona. What does
What
one
do you
do?
So he took some time off, which was well deserved.
Yeah.
He worked at some
Absolutely.
investments, so he was still supporting us and my business. And
Bless him.
And then it was like, okay, what am I going to do? So he has a transportation business.
Okay.
He does high-end small cargo. He does artwork, high-end vehicles, motorcycles.
Yes, because
Gotcha.
you had mentioned to me once before what his either latest, I don't know if he's already transported.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you say what he did? Was the one where he was taking it out to, can't remember the man's name.
Oh, Bill Burr.
Thank you.
Yes, he
Do
just.
you know Bill Burr?
I don't, sadly.
He's a comedian who also
Okay.
has a very, I guess, famous podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people do know who Bill Burr is. He just transported and this is my dream vehicle because I grew up with this car. It was a 76 K5 Blazer that a gentleman here
Yeah.
built.
Yeah.
And so he transported it to
So
New
your
Jersey.
hubby got to transport that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gets to do things like that.
Yes.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
That's fun.
That was really exciting for him.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
like, I was totally cool though. I wasn't going to be one of those,
Oh my goodness!
right,
Frantic fans.
right.
Lay
Like,
it down.
I know. But he was a childhood actor.
He was.
Okay.
So he grew up in Calabasas. So he kind of grew up in that environment. So for
Okay.
him, it's somewhat normalized.
Tempered a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
we have known anything he was in?
He was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh,
What?
okay.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he was the kid on the back of the trolley car in the first scene.
Okay.
That asks the guy for a cigarette.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Nice.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, so I actually like that movie a lot.
Is that the Jessica Rabbit
Oh,
one?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay.
But so I shouldn't like the movie,
No.
but I do. And it's one of those things like I was just thinking the other day. There's a lot of humor that I think my oldest 16-year-old would get he would find funny.
Funny, yeah.
But then as his dad, I don't know if I could really sit there and watch it with him, knowing some of the things that are in it. So I'm in that middle ground of
Right,
So
right.
anyway, but yes, very very funny movie. And
Oh, well,
I totally
there you
remember that scene.
go.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's fun.
That's cool.
So he was, in McGee and Me. He was in
Oh,
Our
my goodness.
House. Yeah,
McGee
he
and
did
Me,
a lot
I
of
like that.
commercials and stuff.
Okay.
But
How
this
fun.
isn't his interview.
No,
so
it's
we're
not.
just
What
gonna
the heck? Who is
That's
he?
right.
Get out of here.
You could just
She's
jam a little
sidetracked.
Get your own interview.
right? Come
That's
on.
really good.
It's all about Bree.
So then,
Go ahead, Bree.
So yeah, then you're here now, and
So
one of
we're
the
here
businesses that you're
now.
doing.
Yes. So Apricot Lane. I wanted to get out of construction. I've lived in construction
Okay.
Yes.
for 20 years.
So that
flipping
was what you were doing
houses.
as well in Washington.
Yes,
Then
yeah.
Did you do some here when you moved back as well?
No,
Okay.
no. So we, I wanted to do something more girly,
Yeah.
and I love women. I love talking with people.
Yes.
And I love the gentlemen that come in and shop for I just
Yes.
love people. So I'm just
You do.
That's awesome. That's a good fit.
Yeah, and I wanted to maybe do something in the decor because that is my style of design and decor. But that wasn't really a need here.
Yeah.
What was needed here was something that was, clothing that was different, affordable, all ages. It was just there was a gap here, and I was like, that's where I need to fill in.
Yeah.
And so when you're trying to start a business, I mean, it's smart to think about what is missing, what needs to be filled. And so that's where I came up with, having a women's boutique. Now, having ran, construction, I can contract all day long, just point fingers and tell the subs when I need and where to go. But when it came to like actually running a customer service business, I really have no idea what I'm doing. So I decided to go with the franchise.
Yeah.
So I started looking into franchises, and I looked into Apricot Lane for 3 years.
Wow, you did your research.
Yeah, before we even moved. And I knew it as soon as we moved and we got here, I would start this process with them. A lot of things about them that intrigued me is they're a faith-based company. They really love their women and support them. They have low franchise fees. They have low royalty fees. And they're just... basically they hold your hand through the entire process. They give you as much support as you need or as little as you need. And I could go on and on about all of the reasons why I chose Apricot Lane. But
and so just kind of on their end, how do you pitch yourself coming from a construction background and things like that without the retail kind of portfolio? Yeah. How do you convince them, hey, I'm the right person for this place?
Yeah.
Well, if you can organize construction and you can handle your finances, when I was waiting for my last house to sell, I did work for a home decor gift shop, and I learned a lot of visual merchandising, which when you're already a designer decorator, it comes pretty easy. And it wasn't long before I was managing the boutique, so I had that little bit of retail there. Yeah. And sometimes things are just a little more natural for you than other things, and that's where you kind of tend to go to. Yeah. They actually flew out their CEO and met with us one-on-one. We went to dinner and we got to know him, and he asked us a bunch of questions.
That's
and
great.
He got to know us, and then we drove around the area, like what would be a good area to put this and stuff. And so it was really more about a fit. Are you a fit for us, and are we a fit for you?
That's
lovely.
Really important.
Right.
Yes.
And having been able to meet with somebody from corporate face to face was huge. And that was extremely impressive to me. I don't know if other franchises do this or not. Maybe they do, but I was just really impressed that he came out on their dime and to meet with us face to face.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
And then, so when did you guys open up? How long have you been open?
So September 24th was our 1 year.
Okay.
Yes. We opened up right as things were kind of still a little crazy with COVID.
Sure. Yeah.
We were supposed to open up earlier, but we couldn't.
Right.
I knew I was crazy for opening up in COVID, but I felt led to do it.
You're kind of crazy.
Right?
Yes.
I still felt led to do it. I was like, what? Okay, God, you got this. You're in control.
Yeah.
This entire thing, I've never been somebody that actually would take that step and put myself out there like that and, kind of be that risky. And I just was like, I'm not even thinking, I'm just doing, So here we are. And it's been such a tremendous response from the community.
Yes.
And we've had some challenges. Oh my gosh, so we open up late in the year, not too many people know we're here yet, and then a lot of people aren't shopping because of COVID, and we go into the Christmas season and we do all right, and then we're coming out of it, and things naturally slow down in the winter, and then it starts picking back up, and we've got summer, and we got the rodeo, and we got all this tourism, and they closed down my entire parking lot. To build the
they did.
drive-through.
Right.
For Cinnabon and
Jamba
Juice.
So I was like, okay, patience, we'll get through this. And I did have some very loyal customers that were like, I was willing to park on the other side of the parking lot and come find you. But the amount of people that thought I was closed.
Oh, yeah. It looked like it.
Yeah.
It looked like the whole thing was being renovated. So.
Yeah.
Gosh, that is hard.
It opened up, and then it was like, boom.
Yay.
It was like, okay,
Good.
you're open. You've got this awesome new parking lot. We've got Jamba Juice. We've got the drive-through.
Yes.
And
traffic through.
traffic, and people know about us. And
good.
you know, it was like we did a lot with the rodeo. We
Okay.
did sponsor.
Yes.
You know,
Oh, that's awesome.
advertised.
Good.
You know, so we did what we could to get business. But there's
Love that.
still like probably only not even half the town know that we're there yet.
Well, now that you're on this show,
Yes.
everybody will know.
Everybody will know.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
Like
will know.
wildfire.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
I mean, get ready.
It's a catalyst. This podcast is
But
a
can
catalyst.
I just stop to say that Bree allowed me to wear, I'm going to do it like this. Look, see, I got the fringe. Allowed me to wear this beautiful sweater today so that we could just kind of showcase
Excellent.
the cutie patootie things and classy. And I mean, all the things. We even talked with someone earlier about loungewear. I mean, you've got it all.
We do, and my goal is to have a little something for everyone. And so we're multi-generational,
Yeah.
Okay.
meaning that you can bring your teenage daughter, your mom, your
Yes.
grandma, you know, everybody can find something that they love.
Yeah.
And there's times where I go through where there's a little bit more stuff for juniors just because of the season
Yeah.
or the new arrivals that came in. And there's times when there's a little bit more for, you know, my age, and then, you know, for our retired community. And, you know, so we go through these little shifts but for the most part, I always try to have a really good blend.
I think
Nice.
you do. I really think you do. Yeah.
And how young does it go? Do you have stuff for infants as well, or is it
No,
mainly
you know,
starting
it's
at
just juniors.
Juniors,
I think
okay.
I do carry a lot
Yeah.
of junior brands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Excellent.
this is kind of a funny thing. I try to also pick very mature styles in our junior brands for the very small petite ladies.
Yes.
Because they're always asking, do you have something? And, you know, they're coming in and they're,
Right.
you know, 4'8". And I'm like,
Yes.
a lot of times the junior brands will fit.
My sister is 9 years older than me, but she's teeny tiny, and she shops in the little girl section, you know.
Right.
Yeah, or the junior. So.
Right. So
yeah.
I choose
That's really
a lot
forward
of
thinking.
mature styles in the juniors.
I
Okay.
like that.
And you know, we're reflecting on the 90s, and so the mom jeans are in.
Yeah,
and then,
baby.
You know,
Ooh, yes.
Our-
I
our-
love me some mom jeans.
right? Our
yeah.
big boxy T-shirts are in,
Yeah.
and you know, so I really feel like it's a style that fits
Some
all
of the
age.
bell bottoms coming back.
gosh, we
Yeah, they
have
make
the
me look
cute-
nice and tall. I like those.
Some amazing bell bottoms.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I do want to segue a little bit into while you were getting everything going, you put together this amazing project. And let's
Yes.
just touch on that a little bit.
Okay,
what that is.
so it was completely by accident that I
Best
started
things
a,
happen like
a
that.
nonprofit. It was really just a promotional idea for my business.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring in other women in their businesses and create a campaign that would honor women of the community.
Yeah.
And so we did this, and we had, I think there ended up being 9 of us. And we highlighted 21 women in the community. We did a 30-day submit your story, give us some pictures.
It was so fun.
And we plastered them all over Facebook and Instagram on all of our platforms.
Yeah.
And then I started being able to interview them on a podcast or a vlog.
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun.
It's called Straighten Her Crown Project.
Straighten Her Crown
Straightening Her
Project.
Crown?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the name.
And the origin of the name is what then? Like
So-
straightening her crown. What's that?
Okay, so we all have these imaginary crowns on our head because we're all queens.
Yeah.
We're all
Jeremy has one. Yeah.
okay. Yes,
I'm
right.
straightening his all the time.
And
Oh, my crown? No,
Yeah.
I have a queen. I have a queen.
Oh, you do have a queen,
I don't know if
yes.
I have a crown. Maybe I have a crown.
She's gorgeous.
and there's so much life. There's
Yeah.
so much out there that everybody goes through. But because I have such a heart for women, you know, it's a women focused group.
Yeah.
And we have been conditioned to compete with one another. We've been conditioned to tear each other down so that we can feel better about ourselves.
Yes.
And there's this movement about self-love and, you know, rising up from the ashes. And part of this movement is to help others do the same.
Okay.
So, instead of being upset that somebody is successful,
Right.
you want to build them.
Build them and learn from them.
And you want to learn from them.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when you're on your journey of success, and I think success is a never-ending journey, but when you're on that journey, humble yourself and teach those that are coming up on their way and their journey.
Yeah.
And it's just about helping each other and encouraging each other and uplifting each other and loving each other.
Yeah.
We have enough to worry about to also have to deal with other women who are critical.
Yeah.
And so it's just, let's change it.
Yeah, I love that. You can check out on Instagram, Straighten Her Crown Project.
Yes.
And then your podcast comes out on what days?
Thursdays.
On Thursdays. You
And
can
we
find
go
that
live.
on the Prescott Times.
Prescott Times and on our Facebook.
On your Facebook.
Yes,
Okay.
as well.
Awesome.
And I do a behind the scenes on Instagram off my phone.
Yeah, that's fun.
And we're going through some changes. It grew. We had such a tremendous
Really
response.
fast.
It grew really fast.
Yeah.
I'm still getting submissions. We're going to probably end up doing another one.
That'd be fun.
But a lot of the ladies that had stepped up to help with that were like, okay, we love this. We love where it's going. We're here to help. But we have
Their own.
projects, their own
Sure.
journeys, and so a lot of them just weren't able to
Carry on.
continue, and
Yeah.
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
And I,
Happens.
so we're just doing a little bit of a shift and a restructure, and because it just kind of blew up. I really had no idea where I was going with it, to be honest with you, or what I was going to do with it. And so I've had some time to be able to actually come up with a plan.
Good.
And so a lot of that's going to be coming out here soon.
Neat. That's fun.
Yes. So we're working on our VIP party for the last group of ladies, our last queens, the 21, and that information will be out to them soon.
Oh, good.
And,
I think I'm one of those.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Fun.
And so, we are, absolutely were, she was one of my 21 queens. Yeah.
Oh, so it was a great.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Straighten my crown.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. It was really cool because I went to a mixer, the last mixer we went to, and I looked across the room, and there were 6 different queens in that room. And I
that's
say featured
fun.
queens because
Right.
we're all queens, but featured queens, my first, and it was so cool to see. It was
Yeah.
really cool
That
to
was
see.
It's such a great thing
Yeah.
you've done for the community. Really brought a lot of the ladies together. I think.
And I'm hoping that I know I will continue to be able to do that with, the help of other fabulous ladies.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well,
Yes.
Do you have any other questions?
Well, I think just regarding the business, so mainly clothing, or do you have accessories as well? Is there kind
that's
of
a good
do you run the gamut, or
Yes, so we do have accessories.
Okay.
Scarves,
She's wearing
hats.
some.
I have Charlie James earrings.
Yes, they're beautiful.
They are beautiful. I'm currently the only local store that carries them, although she sells on Etsy and other markets across the country.
Yeah.
They're extremely popular. And Priscilla Magana is a beautiful soul, and absolutely adore her, and so I try to support her as much as possible. And these earrings fly off the shelves.
Yes,
Fly off the
Marissa
shelves.
would look really cute in those.
gosh, she has something similar. So I was kind of taking note of those earlier.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
Charlie James.
Yes. So we have candles. I have Capri Blue.
Good shoes. You have some shoes.
I
few,
do.
yeah,
I do.
a little bit.
They're not.
Really cute hats.
Yes, we're getting. Okay, you guys.
I
You
love
want
the
your
store.
felt hats?
I love the store. Can I just?
This week we're getting in like 3 different styles of felt hats.
Yes,
different
Awesome.
colors. Yes, they're the desert boho look is really in, and I'm jumping on that bandwagon,
Yeah,
man. So
sister.
we're going to be bringing in beautiful.
help me as a man who's not in fashion. Boho is
in
not hobo.
fashion.
Not
No,
boho.
Bohemian.
Bohemian.
Kind of
Yes.
not all who
Boho.
wander are lost.
You're just-
Okay.
We're going into these like naturals, almost hippie-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of
Boho,
neutrals.
Bohemian.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. Very
Sweet.
Real
beautiful,
pretty.
very feminine.
Very
And so
Prescott.
when can people come by the store? What are your hours?
So Monday through Friday is 11 to 6, and Saturdays we are 10 to 5, and then we're closed on Sundays.
Yeah,
Okay.
lovely.
Awesome.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Excellent.
We are starting to end our podcast since the name is Getting Together with asking our guests, who is one person that you would love to get together with? If you could, I mean, it could be someone in the
Past,
past.
present,
Yeah.
future.
Just
Famous,
doesn't, it
not
could be
famous,
someone local,
mom,
not
dad.
right, what he said.
Okay. So have you heard of Be Limitless?
Yes. Have you? He's blanking.
Don't shame me.
So
Wow.
I'm just going to sit here and nod.
Danica,
We're so sorry.
she's known as Tiny, and I had the pleasure of meeting her at our first Straighten Her Crown Project mixer. She donated
I was going to say she
her
brought
her entertainment trailer.
she has an entertainment trailer.
This
This is something to take note of.
Yes, this is a vintage camping trailer
So cute.
that she has converted into a photo booth, into a karaoke, into gaming consoles. The inside of it almost looks like this elaborate, like, almost like a limousine with benches and the lights everywhere.
Okay.
And then you can snuggle in and you can play some games on their
Yes.
gaming consoles. But she, on the outside, this thing pops up and there's these TVs, and you have like your dance offs and she does.
Yes.
She handled all the PA for us. But what I love about her is that she is extremely hardworking, so generous. Like she donated her time, her children's time, that trailer for us.
Wow.
I want to be like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And she is a sweetheart.
Oh, okay. So that's your person.
That, and you know what? Yes.
That you can
I
make
need more
happen.
time with her.
That's cool.
I
And her
love
trailer.
that.
Yes, and her
Brie,
entertainment
that's
trailer.
so sweet.
Yes.
That's really cool.
See,
And she's
even now.
local, or she
And
came up
she's
from the valley?
local.
She's local.
She's
Okay.
She's here.
She's local. Wow.
Yes, and she's working on building her business, and so I'm going to give
It's
a
a good
shout
one.
out to her.
Yes.
Be Limitless Entertainment.
Be
Great.
Limitless
It's
Entertainment.
a
All right, well,
fun and new and innovative way to
Yeah.
have birthday parties, weddings.
Yeah, I was thinking even like with
anniversaries.
your just the
46th
project.
birthday?
Well, yeah, actually, I was thinking more of the church, but
Oh,
okay,
right.
we'll
Okay,
go with
whatever,
you.
right.
It's all about you, Jeremy.
Yes. So just from the little bit of time that I've had to talk with her, I want to talk with her more. So I just want to
Neat.
get together with
Oh,
Tiny.
getting together with Tiny.
All right.
Yes.
Perfect.
Reach out. And we'll provide links in the space below.
Yes, you will.
That's awesome.
You will
But-
do that. That's what you get paid for.
Excellent. Well,
Bree, thank you.
thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us
guys
today.
so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Having us.
Fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Me and,
Well, I feel like I know your
your
husband
multiple
too.
personalities.
It's like we got some dirt and some
Yes.
info on him.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
really
We'll have to have him on. That would be fun.
That
Great.
would be so much fun.
All
and
right, work on
I want
him
to
on
be
that.
like right there. So
Making
I,
faces.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be
Yes.
Love that.
He would be shaking his head the entire time. Yes,
Oh,
I know.
great.
Yes. He's a very humble man, so I don't know how.
I have
He
one of
wouldn't
those
fit in
too.
with us.
No, he wouldn't know what to do with us.
He's very outgoing.
Yes.
He's very outgoing.
Okay.
But
humble.
but just kind of like to talk about himself.
Oh,
Okay.
we have no. I can't relate to that at all.
Me either. I'm like, when's the next interview?
Yes, sister. I knew I liked you. Cheers.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Getting Together. And Bree, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
We are excited
Thank
about your
you.
business. I'm glad
Yes.
that things are finally starting to open
Go
up
in.
where
The
you
cute
can go.
sweaters.
So yeah, please.
Yes.
And like she said, man, if you're a guy, you can go there and you'll get advice and you can get something for
Absolutely.
your wife, your mom,
Yeah.
your grandma, your daughter.
Something
so
for anyone.
stop by Apricot Lane, and
Apricot
it
Lane.
is down here. Grab a Cinnabon. Head over, but wash your hands first. You don't want sticky stuff all over the sweaters, okay? But come by, check her out, and thank you so much for joining us. Like and subscribe and share this.
Share.
It all over the place, and we're just excited for the things that are ahead in 2022.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Awesome.
That's a wrap.
Thank you. We did that. Really good.
Sister.